Well, good afternoon, and of course, welcome to Stopbox here again, live from Resourcing Tomorrow. We're just down on the floor. We're going to do a bit of a walk. Behind me, you can see GoviEx Uranium, who we're going to be talking to in a few moments' time. But before we get on to that, let's have just a little spin around of where we are. Future Minerals Forum. Of course, they had a very big presence last year, but their stand looks very smart. I might see if I can go and grab someone from that stand in a moment, actually. Let me see if I can just walk up and see if I can talk to anyone from the Future Minerals Forum. Hello. Can I have a few words with you from the Future Minerals Forum? Is that all right?
Not now.
Not now? Okay, no, that's fine. Is there someone else we can talk to later on?
I can't bring you. I'm the marketing guy. So
You're the marketing guy? Okay. You can bring me someone.
Sure.
Yeah?
Just come back later.
Okay, I will come back later.
Then I will arrange to someone to speak.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we'll come back later to speak to Future Minerals Forum. So this is, so we have the government of Nigeria here, I think, the Ministry of Mines, and look at all the rocks they've got on show there. Looks like something maybe out of a geography class. So I think GoviEx are kind of ready now, so I'm going to just walk over and grab GoviEx. Yeah, we may as well go now, and then we'll continue our walk around. You've got to sort of grab people when you can, really, at these events. It's they've all got meetings. So, of course, Daniel Major's just finished a meeting, and we're straight into an interview. Daniel.
No, absolutely. No problem at all. How are you doing?
Yeah, good to see you again. How's it been? You've been busy? Lots of meetings?
Well, as you can see, I'm literally hardly getting time to sit down long enough. It's been a fantastic conference. We've been meeting every half hour all the way through it.
Oh, brilliant. So let's catch up. We've caught up, I think, 3 years in a row now. So can we talk about the Niger projects? Or is that...
One Niger project? No, look, yes, we obviously had it expropriated illegally in the middle of the year on Independence Day, July the 4th. We've disputed that. We've written notices of dispute to the government. We've asked them for an amicable decision to resolve that. We've not had a response from them at all. So we'll then take our view on the legal aspect to go forward, and we will reserve that right to start litigation again.
Okay. That one's very much on hold on the back burner. Yeah. It's all about the Zambia project, really.
It's all about, from an operational point of view, we were very strategically correct back in 2016 when we picked up in Zambia. We wanted to have diversification. Yeah. It's a great project. We've been driving that one forward anyway in the background. This has allowed us to focus everything towards Zambia. Okay. Been working towards a bankable feasibility study that will be out shortly.
Well, I was checking our interview last year, and it's always very difficult to make predictions in this space. But you said I think it was going to be August. So you're not. No, that was the feasibility study. Yeah.
Look, we've gone from a PEA to an FS in one go, with no pre-feasibility study in the middle. Right, yeah. So obviously you've got 5 different deposits having to be worked into this thing. Yeah. So as numbers come in, some of the things just take a bit longer. We also redid all of the met test work for all 5 deposits in a year. So it's taken a bit longer, but that we've done a major amount. Also, we put in all the baseline environmental work. So as soon as the feasibility study is filed, we'll file the ESIA for approval as well. So hopefully by the middle of next year, third quarter, we will be ESIA approved. We're already mine permitted. Right. So effectively, subject to financing, we can start construction.
So when's that feasibility study expected?
Anytime now. I'm literally looking at the model at the moment and working through the numbers. So when I say shortly, it is shortly.
Right. Maybe before the end of the year, or
possibly, or very early in the new year. Okay. Depending on. I don't want to put it out on Christmas Day, for example.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So from our talk last time, it's a very simple kind of heap leach operation, wasn't it? So
it is. It's a shallow, simple heap leach on-off pad. We put out met test work as well. Showed most of the recoveries, with the exception of one small deposit, are well over 90%. Yeah. Acid consumption is very low. Zambia produces acid in the copper belt. The rock is soft, so very low powder factors. We only crush to an inch. No milling.
Right. Okay.
And we have the Kariba Dam next door, which most years is producing a lot of power. Last year was obviously a tough one with the drought that hit Southern Africa. So great location as well. We're a couple of 100 kilometers from Livingston, which is the border post to Namibia, which is where exports would go straight out of into Walfish Bay. So very straightforward.
Last year, uranium was the talk of the event, wasn't it? Of course, breaking all-time highs then. But it's pretty much stabilized, hasn't it, the whole year? We're kind of where we were a year ago. Do you think we're sort of seeing a new baseline now for the uranium price?
Actually, I think we're in a better position than we were. Last year was all about buzz. It was moving, but We've now had most countries around the world are extending reactor lives. So you've got that underpin. More importantly, you've got the AI story. That has just blown the roof out of it.
For energy usage, you mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Microsoft and Constellation having a deal to restart 3 Mile Island just for AI.
Yeah.
You had Talon and Amazon wanting to do that with one of Talon's reactors, but the FERC said no because the grid's not stable enough. So that leads us then into the SMRs. So now what you're seeing, those guys who can't get power off the grid are saying, well, we still need stable grid power. Well, the only way to do that is SMRs. They're the right side. That means you've now got the tech companies pushing money into SMRs, whereas before you were waiting for the utilities, for government to gradually get there.
Yeah.
The tech companies, the $1 trillion tech companies are saying, we need fixed power, guaranteed 24/7, clean.
Yeah.
Want it now.
I was talking to someone from Nuclear Europe actually earlier here today, and she was saying that SMRs are going to be, pretty. You're going to see a lot more of them, and industries, particularly heavy power usage industries, are going to really become self-sufficient, effectively, and self-contained.
You've seen that already. I mean, Dow 2 years ago announced, Dow Chemicals announced that they were going to install an SMR next to one of their chemical plants. Why? Because they need power and they need heat.
Yeah.
2 things a nuclear power station can provide.
Yeah.
So yes, it's already moving down that route as well. So, there's a lot here that was not there last year. The other thing you've seen as a result is big money is now getting into nuclear. You've seen some of the big US funds, Appy and Apollo, looking at Sizewell C for investment to go forward. The big Wall Street banks coming in as well, we want to invest into nuclear. So, I think the word I now use, which we didn't have, nuclear has been normalized. It is now acceptable. It's normal. Everybody knows. It's in the papers in the UK. Everyone's talking about it. The UK government is investing into it. I was speaking to UKEF earlier. They've been putting money into the nuclear pipeline as well. We've got the current SMR review going on in the UK. There's a lot happening in nuclear.
I think there's still a little bit more work to do on the public side of it, but you're definitely right. It's been talked about a lot more. Governments are dealing with it. Nuclear Europe, a body set up there to really engage with the public and government to educate really on nuclear power.
When your Twitter user is saying Microsoft liking it and Amazon looking at it and Google liking it, that puts it in a different context.
Exactly. And AI is cool as well as AI is tech. And it needs
if I understood it, I'd tell you, but yes, it's cool.
Exactly. So just a final thought on GoviEx then. What's your current market cap, roughly?
About $55 million.
$55 million. Okay. Yeah. So you've got the feasibility study, which should be coming out, hopefully, Q1, let's say, to be safe there. Do you see that as a big de-risking event for the company?
Absolutely. I mean, look, we have so many strategies. We're talking to utilities. We're talking to potential lenders. Everything we've got fits around that FS. If that FS is what we want, this thing's going to accelerate.
Right. Okay. You're talking to lenders already then, so you already get...
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
So you look to close financing,
well we've got to get the ESIA out of the way. Yeah. So we're talking next year to do that process.
Sure. But a big year then, potentially, a transformational.
Very big year next year if this FS comes out with the result I want.
Well, I'll catch up with you, maybe before Christmas if that FS comes out. Otherwise, Happy New Year, and we'll speak in the new year. Thank you for your time, Daniel, again, as always.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you. Okay. Oh, excellent. So we're going to talk to the Future Minerals Forum. That's fantastic. Yes. Let's go and have a chat. So, yeah, we spoke to the Future Minerals Forum last year, but they have another presence here this year, which is great. There's a lot of Saudis here. So, okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, we'll come to you in a moment. So, we're going to get Future Minerals in a moment. Yeah, okay, no problem. Yeah. But, they've got a very nice stand, haven't they? It's very, very smart. And I know last year they had a big stand here, but today it's nice, smart, sort of smaller scale, but, very nice and smartly done there. And I'd say a lot of Saudi people are here. I've seen a lot of Saudis walking around. I think a lot of big deals are being done. We're getting the sense a lot that the Saudis are really going to diversify away from oil or use that capital they've got from all the oil exploration they've been doing to really broaden out and do deals both internally in the country, but also externally, broadening out into the mining space there. So while we wait for our Future Minerals lady to just get ready there, maybe we just have another little spin around and just look what we're looking at here. So who else do we have? Wardell Armstrong International, Australia Minerals, I'm not sure. I never heard of them before. Retic Systems, Retic Router, Feel Safe, Feel Smart. I'm not sure who those guys are. There are some suppliers here as well as companies, of course, exhibiting. But yeah, as I say, it's quite busy here on the floor. I get the sense it's a lot more busier than last year. Things are up about 20%, I've been told, on attendance and, of course, companies attending, but also investors attending as well. So as soon as that lady comes back, we'll grab her there. Otherwise, we can just walk up here and have a look who we can see up here. If we can grab anyone else, see what we can see. We may as well have a look at the Ontario Ministry of Mines stand there. They were very good yesterday. The lady on the right there setting us up with interviews with Minister Crawford and Minister Pirrie, which was fantastic that she managed to do that. They've been busy all the time as well. And I'm quite hopeful that if we do go out to Ontario at some point to maybe visit Panther or Fulcrum, that we can indeed work with the government of Ontario there to get access to some other mines or other key people, because Ontario, of course, is a very prolific mining area. And they want to make sure that continues to be the case. So, as I say, a very nice sort of looking stand. They've been busy the whole day as well. And who else do we have? Let's have a quick walk around here. Have a look who else we have. Again, it's all these sort of booth setups as you would expect. People having meetings. It's very difficult to catch people just kind of on the fly there. Of course, we covered yesterday the Cornish Pavilion. They've been busy the whole time as well. I know there are MPs here from Cornwall today. It'd be nice to get a bit of a chat with one or two of them, but yes, it's always quite difficult to catch an MP. But you know, we can hope. But they've been busy the whole time, which is great to see Cornwall there. So let's move around a bit more and just have a little look of who else we can see. Maybe let's go down here. We did, of course, speak to Conroy yesterday. Conroy Gold, it's great. They're always on Stockbox there. We've got Peloton Minerals. Maybe if they're not busy, we can maybe go and grab is it Peloton Minerals? Yeah, we can maybe grab 2 minutes with Peloton. Hello, are you from Peloton?
Yep.
Do you want 2 minutes? We do a quick interview. Just find out really. I'm sorry. Yeah, we can have a bit of a chat and just find out a bit about the company and what you're all about. Are you okay just to sort of give us an elevator pitch for the company, what you're all about?
Yeah, Peloton Minerals is an exploration company. We're focused on northern Nevada, northeastern Nevada. We've been working there a number of years because it's a very strong area geologically. And I guess a year and a half or 2 years ago, a company by the name of Surge Battery Metals went and discovered this great big giant lithium deposit right beside us, right on our doorstep.
Okay.
And so we scratched our heads for a little bit, and then we refocused on our data and realized that we had the same type of lithium-bearing clay, over a huge area where we're located. So last year we spent the time staking. We acquired about 30 square kilometers right beside Surge. We've spent this summer doing extensive soil geochemistry. We've got great results. Geologic mapping. We have a geophysical crew out in the field right now, and I just got a note that we've just finished staking an additional 10 kilometers because of what we saw this summer. That'll put us in excellent position for a drill program this coming spring. And we're here today at Resources show to talk to existing investors, give them the update, but also we're finding a great reaction from new potential investors.
Okay.
The lithium market is a little bit depressed, but the consensus is demand will outpace supply sometime within the next few years, and when it does, the market is going to be huge for lithium. So that's what we're about.
So Nevada lithium, okay, in clays. So that would be not hard rock. So would that be processing through? How would you process that through the clays?
We're actually very fortunate because a company called Lithium Americas, which is about 100 miles to the west of us, is currently putting into production the biggest lithium and clay deposit. Okay. Matter of fact, the biggest lithium deposit in North America. That's in clay beds, exactly what we're looking for and finding. Okay. They've developed the flow sheet and the process. Okay. Took them a lot of money to figure that out, but it's technology that's not new. It's being used in other applications on other types of metals. They've just reconfigured it, and so they are leading the way. If you want to think of it like a train, they're the engine driving the train. Next, the second car is Surge Battery Metals. It has discovered something just as big as Lithium America, and we're the third car on the train. But we get to take advantage of the ones that are ahead of us: technology, processing, exploration.
On what they're doing already when you're ready to move down that sort of production stage.
Exactly. So when we get to the metallurgical stage, for example, we'll start by copying what they've done. We'll take the best of what they've learned and try to improve on it, of course. But
well, lithium. Just a final thought here. You said, of course, lithium market has pulled back a fair bit, but I have heard repeatedly over the course of yesterday and today that the demand side is not slowing down. The demand the supply side is always going to be quite strong. It's the supply side that can be a bit sort of lumpy, I think, oversupply and then perhaps undersupply. What do you think it takes for a company operating in lithium to be profitable, to set themselves apart from other companies that might find it more difficult to actually be profitable from their lithium deposits?
Well, the first thing is that these clay deposits are reasonably inexpensive to mine.
Right. Almost go and scoop it up, or
yeah, like Thacker Pass is going to be open pit. On their feasibility study, the cost of producing a ton of lithium carbonate equivalent, which is the final end product for a car battery, is going to be $7,000 per ton. The current market for lithium carbonate equivalent is $11,000. So even at a depressed price, they've got a healthy margin. Their IRR, even at this price, is huge. And the Surge deposit beside us, I think their numbers are going to be even less because they've got a higher grade. We stand to have that same potential, and so that's one of the things as a company when you're exploring is, of course, look for deposits that have the potential to be very low cost production.
And what stage are you at the moment then in terms of sort of exploring and proving up this resource? Are you getting into the sort of the resource statement stage yet, or the feasibility study stage yet? What can we sort of be looking out for investors, activities from the company?
Yeah, we're not at that stage yet. We'll focus on the exploration probably for quite some time before.
It's all about drilling for you.
It's all about drilling. We think the strike length of our property from one end to the other is over 10 kilometers, and we think there's potential for the clay layers to go right across it. So, I mean, that's big. And so I'm not going to worry about trying to get to a pre-feasibility study too early. I'm going to have the drills out there drilling. And, that's what the market likes anyway. So.
Yeah, of course. That's what we invest for in this space is the drills. So that's going to be sort of the theme for 2025, is it? Just drilling away, drilling away, drilling away.
Yeah, exactly. Drill, baby, drill.
Yeah. To coin a phrase from Trump, yeah. And where would you like to be in a year's time? Just if you could be a picture-perfect place, if you were coming back here in a year's time, what would you like to be saying to investors that would be different from what you're saying today?
Well, I think we'd like to demonstrate that we were followed up well on what we did this year. Like I say, the strike length, we'd really like to determine the size of this thing. We might not be able to do that in a year, as far as the overall size, but we're get a good handle on it and get ready for the follow-on drillings. Yeah.
Well, thanks very much, Ted Elwood, the president of Peloton Minerals. Thank you very much for your time. Do you have a card we can take, and we can make sure that you get a copy of the interview? But thank you very much for joining us. Have you had a pretty busy schedule? You've got more meetings to come?
Yeah. I've got another interview just right
now. Right. Okay. I'll let you go then. Hopefully we warmed you up. Thanks, Ted. Okay, so should we try and see if the future minerals are available? We'll walk back around this way here. It's probably going to be a bit easier to do that. At the end, we're going to have a chat with Peak Nickel. That's in 10 minutes, Peak Nickel. So we'll come back here after we've spoken to the Future Minerals Forum, all being well. So let's just walk. Here we go. Rich, how are you doing? Yeah,
very well. Very well.
Stopbox,
no, of course. No. You're always walking around with the microphone.
Yeah. Are you? Have you been busy? You had plenty of good meetings?
Yep. Yeah. No, I was looking at Peak Nickel.
We're going to talk to Peak Nickel in about 5 minutes. Yeah, going to the Future Minerals Forum now to have a chat with them, and then on to Peak Nickel. Also talking to Quinten van der Berg this evening about Marula.
I saw him in Dubai about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's all looking rosy.
Good. Well, hopefully he can shed some light on that this evening when I chat to him.
I do hope so. I do hope so. Yeah, we're going into production at Canusi. So that's the copper mine.
Yes.
So we've got some offers to buy some DSO ore straight away from that, which is great. So that generates cash flow. Larisora, as you know, is up and running.
Yeah.
Did our second blast the other day.
Yeah.
And and we've got the plant there near Khalifi. So it's all happening.
Yeah. Good. Well, I'll catch up with Quinton. Hopefully, we can hear some news from Neo as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening with Neo because they are
just a shareholder in Neo. So
yeah. Okay. Nice to see you,
Mark,
Richard.
take care.
Yeah. See you later. Bye bye. There we are. Always bump into random people, don't you? Here. That's of course Rich Lloyd from Marula Mining. Right. Okay. So this lady is here now. Whether she's got the time to chat to us, then I think she might. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, I'm very good. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. So what's your name?
Leon Hepsi.
Leil Hebsi. Okay, so really nice to see you. So last year at the Future Minerals Forum, we're here as well.
Yeah.
You're here again. I've seen a lot of sort of Saudi people walking around. So I wonder if you can give us a sense of how things are going with the Future Minerals Forum, and particularly with, of course, the Saudis wanting to sort of invest in mining, both at home and abroad. What's the feel on the ground?
Honestly, we're extremely excited. And as you know, mining is the third pillar of Vision 2030. So we're open. We're trying to show the world that we are open, and we're inviting everyone to come to Saudi Arabia. We're also showing people that we're interested in investing abroad as well.
Yeah.
It's part of our strategy. So the Future Minerals Forum was a hit. This is going to be the 4th edition that's going to be in 2025. And last year, we had almost 14,000 attendees. So we're hoping that number is going to grow as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is obviously coming from very high up in Saudi, isn't it? I mean, are they looking at any particular commodities or jurisdictions where they might sort of look to invest more heavily?
All jurisdictions are open to us.
Okay.
Yeah. We
Commodities?
have very good relationships with a lot of countries. So different commodities. We're looking for the energy transition metals. That's something of interest, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, good. Well, I hope to catch up with you maybe in Saudi at your indeed the Future Minerals Forum, because I feel that this it seems to have come from nowhere almost. Would you agree?
It came from nowhere, and it's taken the mining industry by storm.
Yeah, it seems like it, and a lot of the companies we deal with are doing deals with the Saudis effectively. And as I say, I've seen a lot of Saudis here, more I've seen in previous years. So yeah, you're taking over the sector, but it needs it, doesn't it? I mean, it's had such a long time of underinvestment, and you're ready to go and take it by storm, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And also, as you know, we've coined the term super region, which is basically Middle East, North Africa, and Asian parts as well. These are the regions we believe that are going to be extremely important for the energy transition as well. They're resource rich. And I think it's important to also kind of bring back these forums to our region, make sure that there's a lot of attention here. So I think it's good that we started it, and we're going to have the 4th edition. We look forward to hosting you guys. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, I'll pop back and we can have a chat and get your card. But thank you very much for your time just now. I'll go and carry on my walk, and we'll come back around. Thank you very much for your time. So that was nice. Saudis are going to do it, apparently. But I think they will. They seem to be putting their money where their mouth is. So I know, of course, Power Metal Resources are doing a deal with the Saudis there. So I think we'll only start to see more companies start to do that. But it's nice to have a chat with them there, and I do indeed hope that we can get out to Saudi and get to the Future Minerals Forum, maybe on the next edition, and have a good chat with them. So I'm just looking at Peak Nickel now. They are busy in a meeting, as expected. We are probably about 5 minutes early on that. Should we try Ellipsis? They've got a little camel there. Hi, good afternoon. Are you from Ellipsis?
Yes, I am.
Your camel has attracted me.
Please have a seat.
Thank you. So we're just going around. Our audience are private investors or retail investors in the space. So we do a lot of interviews with CEOs, etc. And we're just going around this event, talking to people like yourself, finding out what you're all about. So you've got some nice snacks here. I guess you're not a snack company. Tell us a bit about about the company.
It's the association or the company?
Oh, both?
Yeah. Ellipsis is an Australian private company.
Okay.
We are in the field of exploration in Mauritania and Morocco.
Okay.
In Northwest Africa. In Morocco, we have iron gold project, still early greenfield, and we are continuing our previous program, which we did geochemistry and geophysics. Now we'll go to drilling.
Okay.
In Mauritania, we have iron and gold project again, because we are on the southern Morocco and northern Mauritania. It's geologically called the Gaybat Plateau. It's a plateau, similar geology, and we are planning to list in the ASX after we get the drilling results.
Okay, so you're going to go for an IP on the ASX.
We will do an IP.
Okay. And it was iron and gold, you say?
Two separate projects, but we have two projects. This is called Mimi Gold Project, and if this is could be Mimi Iron Project.
Okay.
And if you ask who's Mimi, she's Amelia.
Okay. All right. Well,
Amelia is the daughter of one of the founder of the company.
oh, okay.
And
Okay.
she's a lovely girl. She's 12 years old. Actually, maybe 13.
Okay. Right. Okay.
I'm
That's
trying to be more precise.
yeah.
And the other association, this is a Moroccan dessert,
Okay.
traditional dessert.
Okay.
This is mainly made from almond based,
Yeah,
which is
okay.
English word marzipan.
Oh,
So
yes.
there's marzipan in each one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And companies are very well located in southern Morocco, northern Mauritania.
Okay.
We have very strong geological team
Okay.
and very experienced team.
Okay.
And we are one of the few companies who are using AI for identification of ore bodies
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
in Australia.
Oh, in Australia.
In Australia, we have our own AI system, and we provide the AI with the data, and it gives us some indication. We will follow it to chase the ore body and targets on the ground.
Okay.
So far, we did well. We identified 29 targets in Mauritania only. Our boss, Clayton Cross,
Mm-hmm.
Australian man, he just gave a speech
Okay.
about this about a few minutes ago on the panel on resourcing tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, nice. So I can understand why you're into gold, of course, with the gold price, but why iron?
We came through iron by accident. It's an accidental discovery.
Oh, okay.
We were in southern Morocco looking for gold and REE,
Okay.
rare earth
Yeah.
elements, and because southern Morocco is famous for gold, northern Mauritania as well. And we came across this huge magnetite deposit.
Right.
And when we did more work and more calculation for the ore body, it ended up to be massive.
Okay. Okay.
We were not initially looking for iron, but the volume and closeness to Dakhla, the Dakhla city on Atlantic, it makes it very logical to make a good investment in it. It's a high-grade magnetite,
Okay.
hematite, and it could be DSO.
Okay. And which project has the more focus at the moment, or have both got equal sort of focus in terms of exploration work going on?
No, we're not equally focused on both. We're going focus on gold, of course.
You're going for the gold, yeah. Okay. And you said you were drilling, and then you were going to look to go for a listing once you got the drilling completed. So what's the objective of the upcoming drilling?
We started with RC drilling, reverse circulation drilling. We have good grade at the first 20 meters. We keep drilling now. The whole idea is to have a good understanding of the ore body, its shape, its mineralization, its alteration. When we have a solid ground, we will go for listing. It's better to go with data to the market rather than go cold and greenfield. We try to go from greenfield to brownfield on a private funding. Then we will take it from there to further to mining.
So go to the market with more confidence of the understanding of the deposit, and then you'd be looking to basically put a plan of action together once you've raised funds to actually go and build it out, prove it up.
Precisely. We try to go with a solid data, create confidence, and we go ahead.
So what are you saying to investors today then? What's your sort of pitch to them why they should perhaps consider, I mean, are you looking for investment privately, or is it more about raising your profile ahead of the potential market listing?
We are open for private funding. And for investors, Morocco and Mauritania geologically are, southern Morocco to be more specific, and Mauritania in general are untouched geologically.
Okay.
Chances of finding a mine in Mauritania is 1 in 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about gold, world-class mine, 15, 25 million ounces.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's we have an example in Mauritania, Canadian company called Kinross.
Yeah.
They have Tasiast ore body operating since 2008, and we believe we can. I'm not going to say similar to Tasiast. I would say more.
Okay.
The potential we are looking at the moment in Mauritania, it could be greater than Tasiast.
Right.
The money called Tasiast
Okay.
in the northern Mauritanian border with Morocco.
Okay.
So we have a huge potential. We are very focused on mine and exploration now, and if any private funds are keen, which we believe, so we can attract more in Australia, hopefully from England, because closer geographical proximity to us. Let us contact us, and we are more than happy to discuss more details of the project.
So you're saying you're a gold play with good potential, and you're looking for investment effectively to help you get through the drilling campaign and then head towards a market listing.
Yes. Drilling campaign is on continuous program. We cannot stop. Even when you are mining, you're looking for nearby exploration to develop another mine. So it's a long term. But to establish the measured ore body, we need more drilling. And that will take us to significant amount of expenditure. So I prefer that idea if there's someone who's willing to chip in and continue with us in that level. Yeah.
And just finally, if you had any interest over these last few days, you've had a lot of people that have been coming by and speaking to you?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have had some interested parties, hedge funds from England, from Australia, from Canada. Canadian are more familiar in Mauritania. Australian, we are not very familiar due to the distance, but Canadian have more knowledge about the Mauritanian system, geology, and they are happy to do investments with us.
That's interesting, because listening to you, I would say you're sort of fairly early stage, so it's a bit more of a sort of risky or speculative play.
Yes.
But you're saying that some of the hedge funds are familiar with the geology in that area and the other projects, and it's piquing their interest to your project.
Surprisingly, they are familiar with it. It's not a secret. Geology is everywhere. BGS did a lot of work in Mauritania, and that's public information.
Yeah.
And BGS published it. So I assume people have more knowledge now about Mauritanian geology. And we are the pioneer there. We've been there for about 2 years, and we established a good connection with the ground. We have 5 good licenses, and not surprisingly, the size of each ground is 500 square kilometer. This is the biggest in the world you can get.
Okay.
Mauritania are very generous with their ground. You cannot investigate and explore the entire 500 square kilometer. You can focus in 10 by 10, and then we'll reduce it later. But the potential is there, and the knowledge is there. So with your work and expertise, we can link the mining sector or mining companies with the investors.
Exactly.
The whole purpose of this idea.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much for introducing us to the company. It's got my interest. So I guess if people want to know more, they can look you up. So it's ellipsis.com.au. Perfect. We'll put the link out on Stockbox. But thank you for introducing us, and we'll be in touch. Thank you very much. I'll come back later and grab some snacks. But I've got to go on and talk to other people. But thank you. So have we got peak nickel available here or not? Not sure if they are available. Looks like they're chatting away. Oh, hi. Have you got 2 minutes, or are you really busy? You're really busy. Sorry to steal you away, but can you just give us perhaps the elevator pitch first of all? What Peak Nickel are all about?
Peak Nickel is a private company.
Yep.
We've got the Rodburn Nickel Copper Cobalt project in Aberdeenshire in Scotland.
Okay.
It was discovered 50 years ago by Rio Tinto and Goldfields and hasn't been looked at since. They really liked the project, but for various reasons couldn't get back onto the land to follow up. We acquired it 2018 onwards. We drilled 2,600 meters last year. It's massive sulfides, high grade, nickel, copper, cobalt.
Okay.
We think it's got potential to be a new district scale opportunity. And so we're here, it's private. We're looking to raise some more money to do the next phase of work.
Okay.
But we think it's got 10 to 20 million tons potential just in one small area of the project.
So this is up in Scotland?
It's in Scotland.
Okay. Whereabouts?
In Aberdeenshire. It's about an hour's drive northwest of Aberdeen. And more importantly, there's 3 of the metals that are on the UK's critical minerals list, nickel, copper and cobalt, all occur in this project.
Yeah. Nickel, I was talking to a lot of people here today, hedge fund managers, etc. And of course, you've got gold, you've got copper, you've got uranium, but nickel came up, which was surprising, that nickel's going to be one of the more in-demand commodities going forward. So you're probably in the right commodity.
I think timing-wise for us, it's perfect. There's a growing demand for domestically sourced nickel, copper, and cobalt, certainly for the high-tech industry, the automotive industry. There's very few projects like this in Europe. So it's a good jurisdiction. It comes close to surface. It's in an area where there's low population. So I think, and it's also in an area where I think there's an opportunity because of the demise in the North Sea oil and gas industry. Aberdeen, they're looking for alternative sources of employment for people coming out of the oil and gas industry. This would be perfect.
Perfect, yeah. And it's very interesting that you're in Scotland. Of course, you'll know the Cornish are over there around the corner. It's a huge Cornish entourage. I was talking to a Lord, Baroness Northover today, who heads up one of the parliamentary committees on the critical commodities, securing that. And also I was talking to the Critical Minerals Association. The UK is finally taking it seriously. And the Cornish certainly could be a hub, I think. But at the other end of the country in Scotland, it's nice to have some homegrown commodities.
Well, the geology in Scotland is very prospective. The interesting thing about this project is it's almost like you've got this thin veneer of glacial clay from the last ice age that covers the rock, so there's no outcrop. If you had outcrop, this would have been mined 10, 20, 50, 100 years ago. So that's the opportunity for us, is to find a whole new mining district in the northern part of the country. And I agree, the government is starting to get its act together. We still need, I think, more support at the earlier stage for projects. You've got the National Wealth Fund that can put money into projects at a more advanced stage. But I think the government needs to start looking at providing the catalyst to get these new projects going to the point where you can start seeing new projects, new opportunities coming on stream.
So let's get into some investor questions now then. So you're a private company.
Yeah.
You're looking to IPO at some point.
We'll IPO at the right point. The next phase for us, we'll be looking to raise probably £2 to £3 million next year.
Okay.
The use of proceeds from that would be to drill up to 10,000 meters, demonstrate that we're on a project that could be 10, 20 million tons plus. Come to the market when we've got a project that's in the $100-200 million valuation range.
Right.
And when the market's more supportive of kind of nickel projects.
Sure.
What we don't want to get bogged down into is supporting the share price in an environment where the market's not supportive.
Yeah.
We'd rather spend that money on the ground and in value to the project.
It's not a bad decision, I would say. It's been a tough year for sure to raise capital. I get the sense it might be starting to turn, but then again, I think I'll probably say that every year. So your idea is, okay, to do the drilling, raise 1 to 2 million, you said.
£2 to £3 million.
2 to 3 million, okay, to do the drilling. And then you'd look to come to market, with the sort of...
probably with a bigger resource, maybe an economic study behind the project.
Like a PEA or something.
So probably 12 to 18 months, that would be our time frame, subject obviously to raising the money and doing the work that we need to do. And I think that fits in perfectly because there is going to be growing demand for clean nickel.
Yeah.
I think what you're seeing around the world today is a lot of nickel coming out of the nickel laterites in Indonesia. Big environmental impact of those operations, also social impact. I think consumers plus automotive and technology companies are recognizing the need to ensure that the materials they use are sourced ethically. And that's what we offer here.
ESG is going to be so important. And that brings me on to another question. I mean, how realistic is it to bring a mine into production in Scotland, in the UK, but in Scotland for sure?
Our view is that it's a very prescriptive process in the UK to permit a mine. So if you look in Cornwall, for example, South Crofty's fully permitted. In Devon, Hemerdon's fully permitted. In Yorkshire, under a national park,
Serious Minerals.
Woodsmith's fully permitted.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
In Scotland, in a national park, Connanish Gold Mine is permitted. So, and in Scotland, there's a lot of quarries. This is no different to a quarry, right? And there's a quarry nearby to our project that's just been granted permission to expand its operation. So I don't see permitting as an issue. Obviously, from an ESG perspective, community engagement, ensuring that the local community is fully aware of what you're doing, why you're doing it, when you're going to do it, and to get community support is essential.
I mean, I know what you mentioned, Yorkshire there. That's where I'm from originally. Of course, there was a lot of locals who got involved in that project because it's right there. They can see it, and it's a pension fund. For example, I'm getting a real nice sense of maybe the UK could actually start being a bit of a mining place. Not just a financial hub or a processing hub. We could actually start doing some mining ourselves.
100%. And I think the government should really get behind these kinds of projects because domestic supply fits in with the whole agenda of the energy transition. Number one, you're reducing the carbon footprint of the materials that you're using in these technology industries. And obviously nickel, copper and cobalt are essential to that. And I also sense, I spent the last 9 years working in Cornwall, and you can really see the support from the regular investor to see projects like whatever's in Cornwall and this in Scotland come to fruition and get into production and generate jobs.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. So next year it's all about drilling for you, and that's all sort of, you're raising the money for it, but you're all kind of permitted for all that in that kind of sense? Or?
Yeah, permitted for drilling. The idea would be to drill, as I said, up to 10,000 meters, do some metallurgical test work, and really demonstrate that we're sitting on something that could be very significant for Aberdeen.
And if people would like to get involved, you're looking for capital investment, what's the best way they can get involved? They can Google you, I suppose, Peak Nickel, you'll probably come up.
peaknickel.co.uk is the website. You can reach out to me, Richard, at peaknickel.co.uk. I'm helping management, raise the funds for next year, but if anybody's interested, please send me an email.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time. If I can grab a card, we'll make sure we put out your link when we do the tweet as well. But it's really nice to meet you. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you later. Okay, thank you very much. That was nice, eh? I didn't know they're in Scotland. As I say, I'm getting a nice sense that maybe the United Kingdom could be a bit of a centre, not centre, but it could start producing its own minerals. You've got that up in Scotland. You've got the Cornish, of course, down in Cornwall. Talking to the Future Minerals people, the Critical Minerals Association, and indeed Baroness Northover this morning, it's clear that things are going to only get more to go down that route when we go to government policies, that kind of thing. It's quite clear that the government are taking it seriously, and we do indeed have to secure our supply of these critical minerals. I've just walked past Holder Resources. Are you free or are you busy? We have a quick chat. Of course, we spoke to you last year. You were on the pitch battle, I think, weren't you?
I was on the pitch battle.
I saw you. Did you do a pitch battle this year, or was it a spotlight?
Spotlight.
Yeah, okay, I saw you there.
Yeah, we did a 10-minute presentation on Holder Resources, giving the attendees an update on what we're doing in Guyana and South America.
Yeah, okay. So what's happened over the course of the last year then?
Yeah, over the last year, we've amassed a significant amount of timber concessions. We've actually started production on those timber concessions. So last year we were in exploration mode, acquiring mode, and now this year we've actually begun our operations and are actually in the process of raising more money now, ramp up those operations. And we've got plans now to go public in the next year. And to continue to ramp up our story and our opportunities in Guyana. Okay,
and it's all on the timber, is it?
So timber is our main focus. So timber is basically it's a lot easier to go public for what we see right now with the timber opportunity. But we do have other opportunities within Holder Resources in gold and potentially other exploration into rare earth or other minerals.
Okay, so you've moved on a lot since the last year then. So you're almost ready to start putting a prospectus together to get onto the market. So what do you have to do to get to that point?
So we've already chosen who we want to work with, and now it's the process of going through all the audits and making sure that we dot all the I's and cross all the T's on the pathway there. So one of the big things that we want to do is to be able to ramp up our revenue in order to be able to get it to the certain place that we want to in order to be able to go public strong. And so we don't want to do it prematurely, but we do feel confident in what we're able to accomplish over the course of the next year.
And you can give us a sense of what those sort of metrics are at the moment in terms of what your revenues are and what you're sort of wanting to work towards?
Yeah, so we've actually just begun our revenues, but we're hoping, according to everything that we're looking at with industry standards, we feel like we can get up to about $20 million in revenue on an annualized basis off of the next monies that we're looking to be able to raise. So it's a significant opportunity. One of the biggest things we're looking for right now is building up the heavy equipment that we need. Heavy trees need heavy equipment. These are some of the most dense trees in the world, and it doesn't take small equipment, it takes large equipment. So once we are able to get the proper equipment, we feel like we are ready to scale up significantly. It's interesting. The last stage in permitting is to be able to get the tags. And it's these tags right here that we actually need in order to be able to cut down a tree. And we cannot get these tags unless we follow the Guyana Forestry Commission's regulations for processing sustainably harvestable timber. But this is what we have right now to cut down 25,500 cubic meters of trees today. So that's what we've got permission to be able to go cut down in first phase production. First phase production will equate to over $12 million according to industry standards. Okay. And then from there, we want to ramp up.
Okay, good. And so, so the course of next year is really working on getting towards that, going to an IPO effectively on the North American markets?
Correct. Yeah. So we're looking to go through New York, to go to the public markets and be building up from there.
Good. Well, thank you very much. It's Lance Micheleau, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember your name from last year. Well, thank you, Lance. It's good to catch up with you. Just have you had lots of interesting meetings? Been quite busy?
Yeah, we've been busy. You always hope for more meetings, but we've been busy. So I don't know how we could have gotten more meetings. But it's been great telling the story. People love it. We're very unique here at Resourcing Tomorrow. I mean, there's a lot of mines and for gold and other minerals, but timber is a big part of that resourcing tomorrow. The forest lands are, have been depleted in a lot of the world. And what we're really doing is focusing on sustainable logging, managing the forests in order for them to be around for generations to come, but also being able to do it in a way that can turn into a significant value increases for our shareholders. So we feel that we stick out very differently here. We are the only company doing timber that we know of, but we've also been in Guyana for over 30 years as a family. We are very deeply rooted. People are loving that story about Guyana is the fastest growing emerging market in the world right now. It's expected for double-digit growth for the next 5 years to come. And when everyone else was leaving Guyana, even people from in country, our family was actually getting deeper and deeper rooted into the country. And my brother actually just became a dual citizen of Guyana. So we are fully Guyanese and we are fully American, and people are loving that story and wanting to present Guyana to the world, its opportunities. And people love the dynamic of the forest and the other minerals and gold in our story. So it's been great.
I guess you say you're a unique story, and I guess some of the de-risking elements of what you're doing is it's quite predictable. You're not having to drill down under the earth. You can see what you've got above the surface of the earth, and you can almost make that real forward-looking prediction in what's to come in cash flow.
100%.
In terms of risks, does it come down to really what the government and how they sort of work with you on deforesting? Is that the big sort of risk that would face a company such as yourself?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Guyana is a Commonwealth country, so it's adopted Canadian business law. So the country and government itself is really, really strong. Because of Exxon finding oil in Guyana, it's very, very well connected to the U.S. as well. So its main connections are the U.K., U.S., Canada, Australia. And so as far as the risk of relationships go, it's not great. The risks aren't great. So the risks, right? And then the biggest thing is getting the financing that we need in order to scale up our production. I would say that's one of the biggest risks right now. But
just financing, okay.
Yeah, and what you say as well too, what takes millions of dollars, right, to prove gold in the ground. We like to tell people it takes thousands of dollars for a Guyanese licensed surveyor to go up to a tree and measure it and get the circumference, the values of the trees, and move on from there. Right. So it's a lot easier to prove the value of the trees that are on top of the ground relative to the other minerals that are in the ground that are a lot harder to prove. So it's that de-risks our opportunity, because you can literally fly over the trees. You can walk up to the trees and touch them. They're literally right in front of you. It's an awesome opportunity.
And presumably you have quite a good working relationship with the Guyanese government then, because you talked about sustainable deforestation. So presumably there's a rehabilitation plan as well you're going to be following.
Yeah, so we do not get, as I mentioned with the tags, to cut down the trees. All of Guyana's forestry, so the Guyana Forestry Commission, GFC, everything that they do for harvesting timber has to be PEFC certified. And that certification follows sustainability practices in forestry, as well as ESG principles as well too. So we're not, harming the people groups within Guyana. And we're also not clear cutting the forest. We can only cut down so many trees per acre, and then the jungle basically regrows itself. So there's two different ways, if I can mention this, that people do sustainable logging. There's the plantation style, where you basically use it as a crop, like corn or wheat. You plant the trees and you clear cut it. That's not what we're doing. We're doing selective harvesting of natural forest. And by that, the forest stays natural, and we're only managing it by cutting, certain amount of trees per acre, per hectare, and then letting the forest regrow itself, keeping it very healthy. What I like to actually say is like, it's related to like a rose bush, right? So if you have a rose bush, I grew up as a teenager, I had like a couple dozen rose bushes, and every winter you would have to cut that rose bush back in order to keep it healthy. Otherwise it would come back really thorny, it wouldn't be healthy, you wouldn't get the blooms that you want. It's the same thing with the forest. So when you're managing the forest, it keeps it healthy and it keeps bouncing back, and it's going to be lasting for generations to come. And that's what we're focused on doing.
Thank you very much for your time. Lance, again, as always.
Appreciate it.
Maybe I'll see you again in a year's time.
Awesome.
And see where you are. But thank you very much. No worries. So I know we've got to talk to US Gold Corps, who are down on the ground floor. I'm very busy, but it's okay. Don't worry. I'm not sure who that lady was, but it's fine. So US Gold Corps are down here. I mean, have we walked around here? I'm not sure. We did see the car, didn't we, earlier? We did look around at the car. I know Barrick are down there, and the women in mining are here. I don't know if anyone's there, because I know they wanted to speak to me. If there is anyone there to grab from women in mining, but no, I don't see the lady who was wanting to talk to me. So we'll come back and get women in mining later. But yeah, US Gold Corps we're going to talk to in about 35 minutes probably. And then we've got Quattro Metales, of course, the guys here. We're going to talk to them tomorrow morning. So we'll get them tomorrow morning. We have a flamingo here. In support of a nature-positive future. I can learn more about the sculpture by scanning the QR code. So I'll scan the QR code and I can tell you about the flamingo and what that flamingo is indeed all about. But for now, I think we can leave it. We can perhaps come back in about 35 minutes to go for US Gold Corps and anyone else we can get. So stay tuned on Stopbox, and we'll be back in a bit.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.